in hip hop. It's the 50th year, the 50th anniversary of hip hop this year. So everything's about 50, 50, 50. There's a list of the top 50 most streamed artists in hip hop, and I'm wondering what you think about this list. Okay, salute to Rap Caviar for the list. They got number one is Drake, number two Eminem. They have Kanye West number three, which I think I was surprised by the Eminem. I didn't know that Eminem was doing so well in the streaming era because, like, obviously, people like 50, like, he does good streaming too, but like, he's not like top 10. But Eminem is over all these guys that are mad active, right? Like, just think about it. Like, these guys are mad active. What was also surprising is that number one, Kanye West, even though sometimes people act like they don't listen to his music as much, apparently his old music gets played a fucking lot. Also, Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD's number four. Juice WRLD is the first of the deceased rappers that we'll see appear on here. And if you think about his time in the game, it shows you how impactful he's been. Because look at all these other guys who drop so frequently. Not necessarily J. Cole or Kendrick, but shit, we could say Future to a certain extent. Juice WRLD still outstreams him, right? XXX is number five. We get number six, which is Travis. I was a little bit surprised by that. I'm not too sure how low I expect him to be, but I didn't think he was like over Kendrick Lamar or even Future, but he is. Then we get Kendrick Lamar, we get Future, we get J. Cole, and actually Nicki's number 10. Again, that's what I always tell people, like, despite what I say about Nicki, the reason why I give Nicki so much credit, Nicki competes with the niggas. You get what I mean? You don't compare Nicki with other women, you compare her with the niggas, right? Then you get to 11 to 20. And people always talk about, 2016, that freshman list. This is where you pretty much see the entire 2016. You see Uzi, then you see 21 Savage. They both were on it. Well, actually, not the entire 2016. You see two of them, because Uzi and 21 Savage. But then you see Lil Baby pop out right here. Remember, Lil Baby is more like a 2018, 2017 baby, right? I was surprised that Wayne was so low, but then it made sense because Wayne's catalog, for the most part, was in mixtapes that's still not on streaming services. So, most of your favorite Wayne songs ain't on streaming services yet. Wiz Khalifa was a little bit shocking. Baby didn't shock me at all. I was actually surprised that 21 Savage is over Baby. And 21's like actually my homie. But I think he always looks at me like, damn, you really underestimate me. For whatever reason, I just thought Baby, because he puts out more music more frequently, and I thought he did these crazy numbers. I thought he would have outstreamed 21. And I thought Uzi would have outstreamed both of them. So Uzi's about right. Lil Baby, I thought would have been higher than 21, but shit, 21 Savage is in the cut with this. So we get Wayne 14, we got Wiz Khalifa 15, but then you go to 16, you see Young Thug, then Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke, again, another rapper who's deceased, but someone whose music went crazy posthumously and still continues to go crazy now. Young Thug being at 17, I was a little bit surprised. I thought he was going to be up there with Lil Baby just because he's dropped so many projects, and I think at this point people have acknowledged his greatness, except he was number 16. Not too crazy, but, number 16, it's not like number 11 or number 12 or 13. You get Pop Smoke, as I talked about, but then you get Cardi B. Cardi B is one of those interesting ones. Cardi B has one solo album, right? She has one solo album. Then she has a bunch of features, and she's number 18 on the list. She's only the second woman to be on this list, which is also super interesting, period. But she's, I think most of it's got to be like her doing features, because how is she streaming that well? And hasn't dropped. Remember, the last time she dropped was like 2018, I think. Bro, it's been like 6 years since she's dropped an album. And clearly she's doing pretty good. You get what I mean? Someone said Cardi B is a feature artist. Somebody tweeted out recently that Cardi B hasn't dropped an album because she's too busy killing features. What do y'all think about that? We get Mac Miller, also an artist who's been deceased. So that's about like the fourth artist that's deceased. Then we get the Baby. As much as people say the Baby's washed, he's top 20 all time in being streamed as a rapper on Spotify. Let's keep it going. We get a producer, the first producer here and there. We get Metro Boomin. Then we get a group, Migos, right? Then we get Young Boy, who kind of comes in number 23. We get Tyga, which Tyga was kind of higher than I would thought he was. But he's 24. By the way, if you think about it, we've gotten a lot of Young Money, right? Remember, that's why Cash Money made so much fucking money. In essence, Wayne's in the top 25. Drake's in the top 25. Nicki's in the top 25. But you even get Tyga, who's in the top 25. Isn't that crazy? Tyga is a more streamed artist over Gunna. And by the way, this is cumulatively. Obviously, Tiger's been in the game longer than Gunna, but it is what it is. YoungBoy was a little bit surprising because YoungBoy has dropped the most projects out of everybody on this list. But his thing is, it's not he's not the biggest uh um Spotify artist. If you look right now on Spotify, I could tell you how many monthly plays he has. Young Boy. Yeah, right now you look on Young Boy's Spotify, he has 18 million, or let's call it 19, 18.9. So it's 19 million monthly listeners. He's dropped 2 albums this year, and he dropped 10 last year, right? You look at Gunna, who's been invisible for so long. Gunna has 25 million. So Gunna gets listened to with less songs. This is a proportion. With less songs, you get listened to more than YoungBoy. So, I think it's just not YoungBoy's platform in a sense, but he's still doing good. He's in the top 25, right? So YoungBoy's 23, Tiger's 24, not Dirk, Gunna's 25. We get Tyler the Creator, who I thought would be higher, and I think as time goes on, he's gonna be higher on this list. I think he's preparing an album now. I think Tyler the Creator, one of them dudes who people just stream a lot, and they love his entire music catalog. So I think he's gonna run up crazy numbers on this. By the way, he's about to drop soon. I see him doing about 300,000, 400,000. I'm gonna say in the 300,000 range. Okay. 27 is Kodak Black, right? So Kodak Black is number 27. Honestly, I'm a little bit impressed by this because I don't think Kodak Black is the heavy seller as some people might think. I think he's only sold 100,000 maybe like once. He drops a bunch of songs that usually go. Kodak always has a song that, I don't know. Let me check on the side here. How much views does Super Gremlin have? So Kodak Black. Yeah, good check here. Hold on, give me 1 second. Click on his name. Yeah, Super Gremlin. Yeah, Super Gremlin, for how hot that song was, doesn't even have 500,000,000 plays. It's kind of crazy. It doesn't even look like Kodak Black's Spotify numbers a little odd. Cause like Super Gremlin was like a number 2 song, like they played in the Super Bowl or they played all through the playoffs. Like it hasn't had 500,000 plays yet. Granted, it was only released last year, but it is what it is. Let me see what else. No Flockin's only at 365 million. You get ZZ that still hasn't hit 1 billion. I don't even know what Kodak song has hit 1 billion, but regardless, he is in the top 30. He's above Polo G. Polo G's a kind of relatively new artist, but I think he does good on Spotify compared to the amount of projects and age in the game. Trippie Redd is in here, which a lot of people try to give Trippie Redd kind of flack for being like, he's like what's that nigga name with the eye patch? He's a Nicholas Fury of the fucking Avengers. You know what I mean? He gets to call all of them up because when he drops a project, he's gonna have everybody on that bitch, right? But it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? He does good by himself, and with obviously features, but still he's in the top 30. He's 29. We get G-Eazy, who we haven't seen for a long while. The last time I seen G-Eazy, he had a crack boulder with him. I haven't seen him since, but he's 30. We keep it going. We see ASAP Rocky, who's notoriously Rihanna's baby daddy. He hasn't really put out much music, but he's been in London for a while. I'm surprised he's actually up here because he doesn't really prioritize music, if you ask me. A Boogie with a Hoodie 32, I kind of see that there. Logic, shit. I guess I see that there too. Jay-Z's actually down at 34, which compared to like his counterparts, like say like a Eminem is number 2. So it shows that people listen to Eminem on way greater of a clip than they listen to Jay-Z. Maybe it's the whiteness factor, or maybe it's just Eminem's GOAT. Who knows? DJ Khaled in all his compilations got him at number 35, which I think is kind of cool because DJ Khaled, I was surprised that DJ Khaled is below Metro Boomin. For whatever reason, I thought DJ Khaled and all them anthems and albums he gave, I thought those were bigger than all Metro Boomin's projects, but guess not. We get Sway Lee at number 36, which is interesting because it shows that Sway Lee, I don't think we said the name Ray Shrummer yet. Sway Lee is outstreaming his group, right? Obviously, when we talked about the Migos, we didn't talk about Offset yet, or Quavo, or even rest in peace to Takeoff. We didn't talk about their solo numbers because we only seen the Migos. We're seeing Sway Lee before we see any of those. We get Big Sean at 37. I think that was a pretty good clip for him. 38 is 50 Cent. 50 is kind of close to Jay-Z. Apparently, 50 does a shit ton of views based on people just listening to like his first couple albums. Like those are classics that always mark the test of time. If you think about from 2000 to like 2005, Kid Cudi's 39. I was actually surprised by that. I don't think he's ever been a big seller in a streaming era, but he's a very legendary classic musician. Macklemore, I was surprised by that too. He's number 40. Tupac, goaded, you know what I mean? People listen to Dear Mama, hit him up, all that type of stuff. He's 41. I was surprised by Childish Gambino being here because I just, other than listening to that song, This Is America, I haven't listened to that shit in a while. Roddy Rich being this low, 43, I wasn't that surprised by, but I was surprised by Cardi a bit. I thought Cardi was going to be a more streamed artist than a lot of these other guys. Even though he drops less projects than most of his counterparts, I just think that Cardi just has a lot more loyal recurring fans, and I thought he would have been closer to like that 25 rank where YoungBoy is. Like I thought he would be able to do that. We get Russ, who's 45, right after Cardi, and you know Russ is one of those hard work beats talent. Talent don't work hard. That's not that surprising to me. Meg Thee Stallion only at 46. As much as they try to make her like the next Cardi B or the next Nicki or even Beyonce, I would think she would be higher. Jack Harlow just came in the game, 47. I think that's good for him. Tory at 48. About a quarter or half of his career, he's independent. I think that's good. Dirk, 49. I thought Dirk would have been higher up on that list. But I think Dirk is finally now hitting his stride. He just is in his prime right now. So, cool. French Montana, the guy who people would like to count out, but he's such a slick and shrewd operator when it comes to like networking and everything else, makes sense why he's number 50. Okay? So salute to everybody on this list, man. What artist did you think was not on the list or who you thought should have been higher?